All right, my name is Patrick Demetrius Harper, 12/24/69, date of birth. It's Christmas Eve, baby, by the way. My struggle started when I was a juvenile, probably like 13 years old. Started when we had a game called Pac-Man. Matter of fact, it was one of the first video games they ever came out with. And one of my brother friends was there. Never forget him, Mars Wilson. And he was playing a game with us, but it was my turn to play next. And my brother wouldn't let me play. He said, let him play. So I'm upset and angry because we in our house and it's our game. So I wound up going in the kitchen. They thought I was just leaving. So I go in the kitchen and I get a knife and I stabbed him a couple of times. And he almost died for that, behind that. And that sent me to juvie hall. That was my first time ever committing crime and being amongst the bad boys. And then that time, being amongst them, I learned how to do other things that was wrong. So I come home from doing that as a juvenile and was slowly graduating into bigger crimes and didn't even know it. Became unruly, unappreciative, unkind to my parents. Then I started out hustling. Marijuana and cocaine was the choice. Wound up selling it, making a lot of money, then wound up abusing it. And then abusing it came into put me in a position where I wound up my first extent in prison. Then I wound up with a second term in prison behind drugs and alcohol. And even in there, I knew something was, I say unique about me, but I couldn't identify what it was. But I had this easy way of getting around people, even strangers. When we were locked up with killers and everything like those. But I had this something about me was special, but I couldn't identify. So then my last term, the 7 years I wound up doing in the state of Georgia, I said I wasn't never gonna go back after that one. That was a hard one. That was almost like being locked up in China or Russia somewhere because I didn't have a play cousin or a friend. But I knew I had to survive and come up out of there. Days turned to weeks, weeks turned to months, months turned to years, and I wound up getting out. Came home from Washington State Maximum Security Prison, locked in for 24/7. Everything I did was in that room for the last 6 months. But I came home after that. So now I'm figuring, you know what? It's time to do it the right way. But I don't got God, but I'm doing it the right way. I'm volunteering, I'm working. And so while I started doing volunteer work, I wound up getting hurt unloading trucks. Forklift crushed my right leg. Had to have 2 surgeries immediately. And having them 2 surgeries, something I never did before, I wound up being put on all different kinds of medications. So I wound up taking that medication the correct way, the right way. It took about 15 months to learn how to walk right, therapy and everything. But in that time, I started from taking the medication the right way to using it to abusing it. So now I get to the point where, these pills is not just controlling my pain, it's controlling me now. Now I don't have the physical pain anymore, but I'm still dependent on these pills. I became addicted to them. And a friend of a friend told me about this program that was in Jacksonville called CRM. He knew someone that had been through that and they doing pretty good. And he told me that you didn't need anything but just go. In my mind, I'm like, nah, there can't be no place where you can just go as an addict and you can get help. And they pay for everything. Everything is provided for you. So it stayed on the back of my mind. I didn't even try calling or anything. And then one weekend, of my abusing medication put me in a situation that I couldn't even remember. I wound up overdosing twice. The second time, the doctor was like, "You was just here, Patrick, 3 days ago." And I'm like, "Really?" He's like, "Yeah, for the same thing." And I'm like, wow. I didn't even know. Couldn't remember the first one, barely remember the second time I overdosed. So I said, well, I gotta start getting this thing together, man. I'm gonna wind up dying. Lost a lot of friends along the way, through addiction, through doing time, and through committing crimes. So I said, I gotta try something else. So I tried calling the CRM. I talked to Kenny Mills a couple of times. And each time I talked to him, I told him I was gonna come in. I guess I thought I was fooling him, you know, because I was acting like I was still sober and getting myself together. But I think he knew when I was on the phone talking to him high and when I wasn't. But that's how addiction is. It had you believing that you're a sober one and everybody else, you know, don't realize it. But in that time, I came in. I only came in for one purpose. I just wanted to get off them pills really bad. So I came in, I talked to them, they welcomed me in, and I'm still smoking cigarettes. That was another battle too, because you couldn't smoke cigarettes there. But I didn't come to quit smoking cigarettes. I came to get off pills, that was it. I caught with them a couple times from Kenny and a few other staff members. Got in some trouble behind it. And then I wound up, oh, let me tell you this part right here, I almost forgot. About a month into the program, I went to Mr. Mills' office and I seen him, Mr. Anderson, and I gave him this medication. This medication with some heavy narcotics, that's what I was hooked on. And it was mine, but I never used it. And I told him I gotta accept whatever my punishment is, but I never used this while I was there, and I never sold it, or I never gave it to anyone in there. I'm giving it to you now. And I can't remember all of what I said to him, but I remember that part. And I guess, you know, he was a God-fearing man. He gave me a chance, and he believed me. But I never looked back after that. But I still had this problem with cigarettes. I didn't even know till maybe a little while later that it was God that blessed me then. I was addicted to Oxycontin, Methadone, and Xanax, and I never detoxed. I never went through withdrawals, and these are medications that I was prescribed and taking for years. I knew it was God that saved me then. I knew it was God that allowed my body to go through something not even doctors could realize. But I had no withdrawal symptoms or anything. I stayed in the program, and the day I got there, the next day, I started hanging out and working with Miss B. They call her Mama B. Well, I do anyway. And Miss B, boy, she worked on me and prayed for me and prayed for me. But just like my grandmama and everybody else, them prayers worked. Because here I am a few years later now, because of CRM and God leading the way, my life has changed completely. I got a job at Nimnik Chevrolet, working in the car wash, part-time. Then I wind up moving up to the customer service agent. Then I wind up sitting amongst the heads that own that company, the bosses, the managers, all of them, and just telling me that they want me now to go back to the car wash department, but they want me to manage it. So that's where I am today. God has restored so much. He's restored a real beautiful gift. He gave me my life back, my kids back, my health back, my faith back, and also my wife back. But the only way I made it was believing. Sometimes it get hard, but I still had to believe. I don't understand why everything I went through was so long and so hard, but where I am now, I accept it a little better. So for me, God and CRM, I am forever in their debt. I will never be sin-free, but because of God and CRM, teaching me how I can sure sin less. I have integrity now, I have loyalty, and I can have sacrifice and discipline.